all of the sessions will be recorded and we'll share the video link with you once the training gets completed. After that, maybe like after 3-4 hours, so you will get the email with the recording of the session. Okay, so this is what I was telling, that you need Office 365 account to work with Power Apps, Flow, and Teams. So if at all you have this already working account, then no problem. Otherwise, you'll have to go ahead and create a Office 365 Enterprise E3 free trial account that would stay valid for almost like 45 days. Beyond that, again, like you can extend it again for like next 15 days. Okay, so it will work for almost like 60 days. Then yeah, so I already have a account created on Enterprise E3, so I'm going to use that account throughout this training for demonstration purpose. Okay, now once the today's class gets over, we'll send you materials, the materials that you can refer to, and also like do practice exercises, whatever like exercises are required. Okay, we'll send it across to you. Okay, and along with that, whatever you want to do parallel as to like what I'll be demonstrating, you are free to go ahead and do it. Okay, so you have the account, you go ahead and start like doing it. Like, how many people have already started working with Power Apps in their organization? Yes, no? Okay, so I see that
I've been working, sir, with Power Apps.
okay, you are already working with Power Apps, right?
Yeah. I have a couple
Okay.
of questions as well. Once the training is done, if possible, can I mail you with the questions which I have?
No, no, surely. I'll help you.
Yeah, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll get started. Okay. So what is it like that we are going to cover upcoming classes? Okay, so we first of all start with Power Apps, and we focus on building components, how we build like uh, creative like screens. We have got like two different options that we can actually use within Power Apps. So we can like create apps. Now apps that can run on mobile device, that can run on tablet, that can run even on your desktop screen. So a single app, once it is created, it can be distributed on multiple devices. Okay, so it's not like we need to worry and go ahead and like do it for every single device. Okay, so Power Apps is going to take care of that part. So like we are going to look into this, that what are the building blocks of Power Apps, how we can make use of these building blocks to create a complex application which is enterprise ready. Then we have a lot of things to cover in terms of like how the data sources, you can connect to different type of data sources, how you use complex formulas, how you customize the screen, how you design the navigation and things like that. And then like to improve the performance of the app, how you use the offline capability of Power Apps, how you can use collections, variables, these all components in combination. Okay, and then Power App is something that is not tightly coupled with SharePoint. Okay, so please drop this idea that you might be having, that it is directly like I mean, you cannot compare it with Infopath. The people who have already worked on SharePoint and are like already working, uh, if you have worked on Infopath form, which we have been like using to create different type of forms, that is something which is not directly like you cannot directly transition it to like Power Apps. First of all, yeah, so Infopath you cannot directly compare. Yes, it's the future of forms, it's the future of how you are going to design your entire screen in terms of like collecting information from the your business users. But yes, it is much more powerful in terms of responsiveness, the amount of like data sources to which it can connect, and there are several other things. Okay. Okay, so the first question is that I'm already working with Infopath and Nintex workflow. How different is MS Flow and Power Apps with those? Okay, so I hope like so you when you say like Nintex workflow, you're working with Office 365 or on-premise with SharePoint. Okay, whatever be the case, you're working with Office 365 or SharePoint on-premise. Okay. First thing is that Nintex and your Infopath, they are widely being used with SharePoint server. Though Infopath and Nintex, Infopath also works with SharePoint Online, and Nintex also is providing Nintex app that you can use in Office 365. When you compare it, especially when you are asking in terms of workflow, that what is the difference? I'll say that. The difference lies in terms of like overall user experience that you can give to your users, the number of data sources to which you can connect. uh, if I give you a simple problem statement that we have to first of all create a screen or create a form to the user wherein like you give the employee ID, and based on the employee ID, what you need to do is that that user's leave balance is stored in a different database. It's a SQL database. Okay, you need to connect to that data source, get the number of vacation of like leave balance that this user is having, display it on the screen, and based on that, then next set of logic starts running, and thereafter there may be a mesh of combination of different data sources. I may have to even like pull some information from an SAP ERP. Okay, in that case, do you think like a form like Nintex? I know that Nintex, we cannot do this thing. The best thing we can do is that we'll have to look for some REST call, and if there is no possibility to make a REST call, then we may not be able to achieve it. Same is the case with Infopath. If you're using Infopath, you will have to create a web service, and through that web service, you will have to go and hit a particular data source. So every single time the business comes back saying that, okay, we need to connect to this data source, at that time, you will be like, I first of all need to create a service, or I need an endpoint, and that is how I'm going to connect. And there's like a lot of challenges in terms of, again, binding the data, whichever way you want to consume. Now, in such scenario, if you are targeting multiple data sources, Flow is something, or Power Apps is something which gives you much more strength as compared to Nintex or Infopath. Still, there are few scenarios where, like, if you are very much focused just on SharePoint list or library for your as a data source, then I think Nintex will work better. Why? Because the controls are specifically designed only for SharePoint. But Power Apps is more, or Flow is from a more generic perspective, wherein like the number of triggers in Nintex, you can start a workflow as a like list workflow, as a reusable workflow, as a site workflow. But if I say this thing that, okay, can you trigger a flow or trigger a workflow when someone uploads a new document in OneDrive for business? That is not possible. If I receive a new service ticket in a particular supporting mailbox, can you start a workflow? That is not possible. Why? Because those triggers are not available in Nintex. There's only a handful set of 3-4 triggers that you can use to start your workflow. But here, when you get into Flow, you will see there's like a huge number of like 200 plus triggers that Microsoft is giving, through which you can connect to any kind of data source, not any kind of, but whatever like supported data sources that Microsoft is providing. So yeah, it's all about like the wide range of data sources that you can actually cover. Okay. Okay, so here the first four, yeah. So we start with like Power Apps. So does that answers your question? Okay, I would, I mean, encourage each one of you to ask as many questions, whatever doubts you have. You can surely feel free to ask the questions. Okay, you can write it in the chat window. I'll read out the question, and then I'll try answering it. Okay, if I don't have answer, I'll get back to you. I'll ask for some time and I'll get back to you. Okay. Yeah. So thereafter, we have got like working with data. Data is very important. Normal forms, like we want users to input some data. We want them to like book a meeting room. We want to create a app which is like which helps every employee in the organization to look for a specific meeting room in any of the building that organization is having, and thereafter they can go and book a meeting room. So that is something which we can design with Power Apps, create it as a native app and distribute it, share it with the entire organization so that people can easily consume it from their mobile device. They need not go anywhere. For just from their mobile, whichever room, conference room they want to book, they can simply go ahead and search for it, see that whether it is available on a particular time or not, and then they can directly book it from here, okay, from the mobile device. So data can vary. It's not just about like we are going to bring the data from a SharePoint list. As I said, that we can go ahead and Power Apps as well as Flow or Power BI, all these three technologies are giving us flexibility in terms of going and connecting to a huge list of data sources that we can like go ahead and consume. Okay, so I'll discuss about it when we go ahead and start with Power Apps. I'll demonstrate it to you that what all type of data sources we can use, and is it only cloud-based data sources we can use, or I have got SharePoint 2013 running in my on-premise, I have got SQL Server running on my on-premise. So in that case, is uh, Power Apps going to give me the ability to connect even those data sources? Because not everything is available on cloud. If you're running in a hybrid environment, then in that case, we may have data scattered between our organization and cloud, right? So we'll discuss about data, what are the possible data sources, and what are the challenges. If you're trying to connect to an SQL database, then is it like going to impact the performance of my app? Is there any best practices that Microsoft is providing to work with huge amount of data? If we have got like 100,000 of records in the database table, we just cannot imagine of like bringing all those data directly in a mobile device. It's a small device with lesser memory. It will make the entire app slow. So how is it like we are going to contain the user, or how we are going to consistently uh, uh, work on this thing that we don't end up making the entire app slow. Okay, then we'll learn about Flow. Flow is the future. uh, Designing any kind of workflow that you want to create in Office 365, you can go ahead and do it. You can connect to any kind of data. So if you look at the flow, it's like first of all, Microsoft is giving you Power Apps. Power Apps will help you to get the data from the users, right? So any user who's trying to insert any data, Power Apps can run on any device, right? So it can go on any of the device. So if the user is using mobile device, desktop, tablet, it does not matter. Second thing is the data is lying anywhere. It is in the cloud, it is in on-premise, no problem. Power Apps is going to help you uh, cover any kind of data sources. Once you take the information and place it in a data source, right? Thereafter comes your flow, and flow is actually going to run a process, whatever process that you have to run. So someone has submitted a new meeting room request. If it needs to be approved by a facility manager, then he receives a approval email, right? So he gets a receive facility manager. I'm writing with a free hand. Okay, so pardon my language, pardon my this writing. Okay, yeah, so facility manager gets the approval email. You have got multiple level of approvals. If at all it is required, then we can design it in Flow, the entire process. We can do all sort of operation. There is a general notion right now among SharePoint users is that these products are not right now ready in terms of enterprise consumption. That is a myth. When we go into Flow, I can show you that whatever kind of data operations you want to do, you want to iterate through your list data, you want to do any extensive data operation, you can go ahead and do it in Flow with the help of the actions that you are getting. the functions that Microsoft is providing, you can absolutely do almost anything that we used to do. Okay. And once your flow is completed, so people can consume both of these apps from their native app. The way you have WhatsApp installed on your mobile as a native app, or you are using Paytm, very similar to that, you can install. You're using iOS iPhone, or you're using an Android device, you can go ahead and connect to Google Play Store or iTunes, your iOS store, and download these app on your mobile. So if I have this app downloaded on my device, on my mobile, then I can even do approvals directly from my mobile device. I need not even check my email. Directly from my native app, if someone is I am like approval for any like request, I can simply go ahead and approve it from my mobile device, very much similar to how you can go ahead and respond to the messages in WhatsApp, right? Once you have done the collection of data and you have run your process on top of it, thereafter in the third level you get Power BI, right? So we have got Power BI that will help you do visualization, right? So we want to draw a yearly this annual reporting that what was the total number of hours that people booked the meeting room, which meeting room was booked, how many requests were cancelled, and things like that. We have to draw any sort of like visualization and analytics. We can go ahead and do it with the help of Power BI. So combinedly, when you put all these three technologies together, this is what is Microsoft calling as business application platform. This is your business application platform. Okay. So this completes the entire life cycle of whatever you want to do. And all of these are SaaS. The way Office 365 is software as a service, very similar to that. You talk about Power Apps, Flow, or Power BI. These are software as a service. They are hosted service on Microsoft Data Center, and they are not tightly coupled with SharePoint. So please understand that whatever information that is stored within Power Apps, information in the sense like the forms that you have designed, the packages that you will have in Power Apps, whichever form that you design, or here whatever like flow that you design, they are not hosted on SharePoint because they are not directly available on the SharePoint site. So please drop this idea that they are going to stay on the SharePoint. No, not directly. Their job is only to connect to different type of data sources and work in accordance to how you have designed the form or how you have created the flow. Based on that, it's actually going to work. But yes, it's not going to directly reside inside SharePoint. So the people who have worked with workflow, and whenever we used to run a workflow in SharePoint, at that time, you will see a status that will come up, right? In the list, you will see that there's a status that has come up and it will show in progress. If there's any new submission of request in a SharePoint list, you'll get to see there's an in progress. But here, it will never be directly coming inside your data source. We'll see this thing that when you go inside Flow, when we develop Flow, at that time you are getting a dedicated dashboard. Flow, you are getting a dedicated dashboard as a normal user where you can go ahead and view what all Flow are running, what has errored out, all this thing, the entire history of what I approved, rejected. These entire thing can be viewed from a single location. You need not go and get into different lists or libraries or other data sources to find out that okay, which all places, what all status was there. Okay, so we'll learn about flow, and thereafter we'll learn about overall productivity and collaboration, in the sense like how do we maintain these apps in enterprise scenario. So we have got like 100,000 users organization. Now from governance point of view, what is the entire life cycle, application life cycle management, the way we have been the developers would have been creating web parts, event receivers, WSPs, and then they deploy it, then they move it from dev to UAT, from there to production. If we have to implement a similar scenario wherein like we have got a development environment, then we have got maybe like a user acceptance environment, and finally production environment, and all of it needs to be done in a single tenancy. Office 365, the customer does not want to maintain multiple tenancy. Most of the customers will never like do this thing that they have two different tenancy. The reason being that there's a single sign-on configured with the enterprise level, so they cannot have multiple tenancy. So how we maintain the entire governance? I have developed a Power App. I want to distribute it to the users. They should be able to like work with this app depending on whatever is the level of access that I'm giving. And then we have to also like think about maintaining the versioning. If anything goes wrong, how we can revert back. If we are moving it from dev to UAT, then what all thing needs to be taken care of. So we are going to take a deep dive into all this and understand that how the governance is going to work in the enterprise scenario. And then finally, last module, we are going to learn about Teams. Anybody working with Teams right now? Microsoft Teams? Okay, so I see that maybe the, okay. Okay, so there are like few people who are working on Teams. Yep. So Teams is a new way of collaborating. It's a chat-based workspace that Microsoft is now like making it as a mainstream component. So Skype for Business, uh, Microsoft is telling that Skype for Business will be like now taken over by Microsoft Teams, right? So okay, so there's a question here like blog page as well, right? No, I'm not talking about team site. This is Teams. Teams is different. I-
Yeah, sir. I know that. Like, I have Teams installed in my laptop, so it is even like asking about like when you post something, we can have a discussion forum like that, right?
Yes, so here in this case right now, for example, I have got Teams. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
yeah, so based on your organization, you can go ahead and thereafter we can use Teams from collaboration point of view. So the way we have been like doing collaboration previously is that we are putting documents in SharePoint, we are chatting on Skype for Business, we are maintaining mailbox in Exchange. It was
Yeah.
all like scattered. But now here in Teams, what Microsoft is trying to do is that they are bringing everything together. They are saying that, okay, if you're looking for a specific document, you need not navigate away. We are giving you everything or extension that has been created using your Fabric React. That is something
Mm-hmm.
that can be added onto your Microsoft Teams. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we'll start with the first module. Guys, please ask questions. Okay, please don't stop yourself from asking question. Let's make it an interactive session. Uh, if it is like very basic question also, no problem. Okay, we after all we are here to learn things. Okay, and every person asks question, then it helps other person also like clear few of their doubts. Okay, so don't hold yourself back. Let's involve each one of us equally in this session. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with like overview of Power Apps. As I said that you should have an Office 365 Enterprise E3 account. That is the easiest way through which you can get Power Apps. So in my case, for example, like I already have an account, Office 365 account. So here in this case, I have got all the apps available under my this Enterprise E3 plan. So if you create trial account, you will get all of it. And here you can go ahead and check a list of whatever like apps that are available. So you'll get all these apps, and for Power Apps, you can start from here. This is your Power Apps, and then likewise you have got Flow that you can start from here, right? So okay, so in this case, yep. So I said that this entire thing, whatever we are discussing, like your Power Apps, Power BI, Microsoft Flow, all of it is part of your business application platform. So here you can see that this is your business application platform. So it is showing us, first of all, this Power Apps. Power Apps can go ahead and we can use it in various ways, and it can connect to different type of data sources with the help of connectors, right? So if you want to connect to a SQL database, you need a connector. You want to connect to a SharePoint list, you need a connector. So for any data source that to which you want to connect in your app, you should first of all need to have a connector. So connector is the first thing. In Power Apps, Microsoft is giving one another kind of data source which is called as common data service. Now, common data service is a completely new concept introduced here in Power Apps, with the purpose that Microsoft is saying is that if you have got a huge amount of data that you want to place on cloud, you just want to release your on-premise this database, and if at all you have a use case for your business wherein they would like to place this data on the cloud, then you can use common data service. I'll discuss about common data service. There's a separate licensing required to work with common data service. Okay, other than that, if you are talking only in terms of normal Power Apps and SharePoint based development, there is no separate cost that is involved. That is the best part. Now many a times customers come back saying that uh, we are we don't want to put extra money, we are already paying Nintex, we have been using K2, and now we are hearing that Power Apps is directly Microsoft baby. So in that case, how we can actually cut down this particular cost over here? So Power Apps comes free. So if you have got the customer has got E3 or E5, and there are a few other plans that directly provide Power Apps, and you can connect to any of the services within Office 365. So when I say any kind of services, I can connect to a SharePoint list, do whatever I want to do in Power Apps. I can connect to even Dynamics 365. If at all it is part of my licensing, I can easily connect to the data sources in Dynamics 365. I can connect to Excel sheet that is placed in OneDrive for Business. I can connect to OneDrive for Business. I can connect to Planner, any service that is available within Office 365. You can go ahead and connect to any of these data source without paying any extra money. The customer need not pay any extra money if they are using Power Apps. That was not the case with Nintex or any third-party tool that you would be using. Nintex will, if you're using Nintex in Office 365, they charge based on they have altogether licensing option. It's it depends on per user how you are actually using it, and thereafter it also depends on other component like a word conversion. If you're converting a word to PDF, they have got a separate licensing. Likewise, they have got a complete different set of pricing, which again adds up to a huge number. So Power Apps or Power BI, along with that Microsoft Flow, all of it, the entire infrastructure is running on Microsoft Azure. So the complete show is being run by Azure. So when you say Azure, it means the infrastructure. As I said, that whatever forms that you are going to create in Power Apps, or the workflows that you are going to create in Flow, you are not going to directly it will not be hosted directly in the SharePoint database. Never. It is hosted completely in a different way. Along with Power BI, we have got the way we have got CDS for apps, for Power Apps. Similarly, Microsoft has created CDS for analytics. Okay. Yep. So here comes this question that what is Azure? What about others? They know what is you know what is Azure? What is Microsoft Azure? Okay. So let me explain you. Yeah. Azure is the end-to-end platform, the cloud portfolio of Microsoft. Let me draw it over here. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me clear my screen. Yep. Okay, so what is Azure? Azure is your cloud option that Microsoft is having a end-to-end your portfolio. When I say end-to-end portfolio of Microsoft on cloud, in this case, it means we can have yeah, so Microsoft is basically like giving you all the three options that cloud can give. That is your infrastructure as a service, wherein like you can go ahead. Infrastructure as a service, that means like you can go ahead and create virtual machines and the entire infrastructure. You want to create virtual networks, you want to place all your servers, everything you can do in Azure. Then you have got platform as a service. In platform as a service, what you do is like you get platforms. So you don't get infrastructure. You do not have control over the infrastructure. That is something that Microsoft is going to manage. But yes, you get control of the platform. So what platform? What kind of platform? One example will be Azure SQL. What is Azure SQL? Azure SQL is SQL Server itself, whatever we have been looking at SQL Server, but this is the hosted database. So Microsoft will never give you access of the physical server where your database is placed, but yes, they are giving you a SQL platform and like you can go ahead and create as many databases as you want. And you can host it. So your overall like maintenance cost will go down, the operational cost will go down. Why? Because you need not worry about high availability, you need not worry about the disk space, you need not worry about the mirroring, you need not worry about the slowing down of the servers. These all things is something that you need not worry about when you are using a platform as a service option. Similarly, you will get a lot of other options, like we have got NoSQL component called as Cosmos DB, and then you have got software as a service. So even Office 365 is a kind of like a baby of Azure itself. Microsoft Azure is the main umbrella under which you are getting all the tools and technologies. So Office 365 also is not, I mean, running independently. It is somehow dependent on Azure for providing most of the functionalities. Okay, so Office 365, Dynamics 365, you talk about OneDrive for Business. These all like applications are software as a service. So Office 365 is a collection of SaaS. So within Office 365, we have got like different technologies, Microsoft Forms, Power Apps, then you have got Flow, and likewise you see here there's like list of other apps that are coming up. But yes, Azure is even like bigger than this. So how like I can go ahead and use Azure? You need to have a valid account on Azure. So does it mean that if I'm using Office 365, is Azure directly covered inside that? It is there, but you cannot use other services. Okay, so if you have to use any other services, like you want to use you want to create a virtual machine, or for that matter you want to use like Azure SQL to host your data, in that case you will have to have a valid account on Microsoft Azure. Okay, and then you can connect it with Office 365. So I may have this scenario when like the customers, there are like a lot of customers coming from UK, Europe, and North America, when like they will give you this problem that they have got, now they have moved their data to Azure SQL, which is a PaaS RDBMS, and you need to go ahead and you can like create a Power App. Yep, so you can have a Power App created. So all the product details, let's say that we have got a database that is with the name like your product booking. Then in that case, all these data you can go ahead and connect with the help of Power Apps to Azure SQL and get this data. Yeah, so here you see I'm showing you, this is your Azure portal. This is Microsoft Azure portal, and this Microsoft Azure portal, you have got list of different services available. So on the left navigation, you can see that you can create different type of resources. Okay, so here you see that I click on create a resource, and I can go ahead and create like virtual machines. You want to create databases, like plenty of options are available. So please note down that now like the people who have already started working with Power Apps, uh, somewhere like down the line you are going to integrate, or you will be using Azure in one or the other way. Okay, guys, you can hear me, right? Someone is telling that my voice, there's no voice. Deepak, can you please check your headphone? Other people are able to hear me. Yep. So what I'm saying is that you cannot stay away from Azure, especially like the people who are working with Office 365. We now you will have to like get into Azure, because customers have already moved, and they are like moving very aggressively because it is cost effective. It's very cost effective. Wherein like Office 365 is just for collaboration and productivity, Azure provides everything. So starting from like machine learning, you have to define like machine learning, IoT, everything is there on Azure. It's Azure. Okay. Yeah. So this is what like in this slide, it is telling that whatever infrastructure that you are running for your business application platform, so we understand that okay, it is going to get hosted somewhere within like Azure data center. Okay, one minute. Praveen, is it clear? Little bit at least, like you have a brief idea what I was trying to tell for Azure other people. Okay. Okay, so there are different ways in which you can develop Power Apps. So you can use your browser based tool option. So here in this case, I have navigated from this app icon launcher. If you are logged in this session of your Office 365, you can directly go to web.powerapps.com. So when you connect to web.powerapps.com, you will get this screen, and here on the left navigation, you can see that you see apps is there. So you can go ahead and create an app from here. Okay, so you will see that there are two different type of apps that we can create. One is your Canvas app, and the second one is model driven app. Model driven app is more to do with common data service, the one which I pointed out just now, and also in case of Dynamics 365. So we are going to mainly focus on Canvas app, okay, because in context of SharePoint, It's more of like canvas app that we develop. If you're using common data service, then you will require model driven apps. Okay, still I will show you, okay, how model driven app works, but we are going to focus on canvas app, and that is what most of the customers are actually looking for right now. Also, this is not the only entry point from where you can start using Power App. If you are using, I mean, you're using your SharePoint environment, in that case, you can always like go to the list, or yeah, you can go to the SharePoint list and you can launch a Power App from there also. Okay, so in right now, this is a modern site. People who are not working on Office 365, who are working on SharePoint server, let me tell you that this is a modern site. What you are seeing right now on the screen, it's a modern site. I hope all of you are aware about modern site, right? Anybody who is not aware about modern site, which has been introduced in Office 365, now it has been even like introduced in SharePoint 2019. This UI that you see over here, yeah, so modern sites can be created from your, okay, so there's a question here asking that how can we differentiate between modern site and classic site. Okay, so the differentiation, okay, I'll read out the question once again for all of you. uh, okay, just a moment. I see there's another question. Okay, so first question is how can we differentiate modern site or classic, and the next question is that when I create through list and look into the mobile, the form is not completely getting displayed. Please address this whenever you get a chance. Okay, so you are customizing the list form, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes, I've created a form from the list, and when I open the same form through app in the mobile, I can see only half of the form, not the complete one.
No, no, I mean that is your you are customizing the browser form. You are not customizing the native form, right? So how you will not see it in your native app. That is something that you will see
Okay.
only from the browser.
Okay, I got it. No issues. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
okay, we'll again like touch base on this one. Okay,
Sure,
so
definitely.
okay, yeah, so now coming to this first question, that what is the difference between a modern site and a classic site. Okay, uh, modern site we all have been like pretty much in habit of using. So this is your, sorry, classic site came in SharePoint 2013. This UI can go ahead and like look into this. This is your, now this is like by default has showing you modern page, modern like look and feel, but you can always like go to the classic SharePoint. Yep, so here in this case you get this option to go back to the your classic view. Now is it only look and feel? Here in this case this is classic site, so it is showing you, okay, so there's like a series of question. Can't we see modern site in classic view? You can see, you can see. So this is your, first of all, like yo, so this is your classic view. So in classic view you are going to see this metro look of most of the component, and you could have like used the classic web parts, right? So we can go ahead and insert a script, we can include content editor web part, we can put script editor web part, and so on, whatever like older web parts that were available starting from SharePoint 2013. It's all of like whatever was there, you could actually include it over here. Okay, now what about like modern sites? So this is your admin section. The people who are new to SharePoint, or sorry, not new to SharePoint, new to Office 365, whenever you create your Office 365 account, after that, whatever name through which you are going to create your account, you can navigate to the SharePoint admin center by directly writing your tenancy name. In my case it's FlexMind solution, so this is my tenancy name. I'm adding -admin.sharepoint.com, so this will take you to the SharePoint Admin Center, provided you should have proper permission. Okay, so here this is my SharePoint Admin Center, and this is your classic Admin Center. Microsoft has been like rolling out changes to this, and now they are even like giving you a modern Admin Center. So I can go ahead and connect to modern move to modern Admin Center and click try it now. So this will take me to the modern Admin Center, and in this case right now you get to see that there's like few analytics that it is showing, and here on the left navigation. So in Office 365, the highest level of element that you can create is your site collection. So there's no SharePoint farm, there's no web application, because this is a multi-tenant environment. So we are somewhere below web application. So it's a host name site collection that we are creating in Office 365, and we are accessing it. So here, let's click on active sites. It is showing me a list of these site collections. Whatever like site collection. Okay, so the question is that, sorry, I missed out how to go to the modern admin center. I'll repeat the step. This is, you just need to like go to first of all like your tenancy name dash admin.sharepoint.com. Once you have gone to this URL, then you will see this option of try it now. It will show you the option to go to the your beta of this modern admin center, SharePoint admin center. Okay, you got it?
You are talking about?
Sorry?
Yeah, which is the option here to go to modern admin center?
No, this is what I said. I said that you need to type in your tenancy name, whatever is your tenancy name. That means the name with which you created at the rate, whatever is your organization name, right?
Yeah,
You'll
I
be
got
use.
it, but it is a classic admin center, right? It is not modern admin center. So how to go to modern admin center from here?
Yeah, so here you see on my screen, right? You are getting try it now option.
Yeah. Actually, it is currently we are in classic admin center, right?
Yeah, right now we are in classic admin center. From
Yeah.
here,
So yeah.
yeah, so here you see you must be getting this try it now option. Are you getting it in your classic SharePoint admin center?
Can you please move your?
You can see here, right? I'm marking it in black color. Try it now option is coming right here. Can't you see? Is it not visible? This you can see my screen, right?
Able to see your screen?
Yeah, so I'm marking it, right? Try it now. I'm marking it in black color. You will be getting this option,
Okay.
right? Are you getting it? No?
Now I am unable to see your screen.
No, okay, just a moment.
Presenter is something attend.
1 minute. Can you see now? Try it now option you're not seeing on my screen. Are you there on your admin center? Are you getting this SharePoint admin center option?
Yes, yes.
So there
So
what I'm
just
saying,
I would like to know that Okay, okay.
So here you should see try it now option, right? No, if not, then you can
Can you
even
please
type
black
this.
this?
Okay, I'll ping you
Okay.
this URL. You just change the organization name, okay, and try opening it. In place of FlexPoint solution, you put your organization name, whatever organization name that you are actually using. And not organization name, at the rate whatever is your account that you have created, user principal name. Vedvyas, you are telling me, asking me to make you presenter. Anything you want to show?
Actually, I was like about to ask something, but no problem. I'll tell you later.
Okay, okay. Okay, so here, this is your modern admin center, and what I'm saying is like modern site is look and feel wise. Yes, there's a difference. Okay, so in this case, right now, if I open this site, absolutely there's a, I mean, this look and feel factor. So your modern site is using Office UI Fabric React, which is now your main styling that Microsoft is using across every single component. So as the people who are developers, if you develop something using SharePoint framework, there also you'll be using Office UI Fabric. Here also in modern site, it's Office UI Fabric that Microsoft is using. So you talk about Power Apps, you talk about Flow, or you take any other services, most of the services, even OneDrive for Business, all of it is running in Office UI Fabric React. You can check this. Okay, so this is your Office Fabric UI Fabric React. I'll pass on the link to you. You can check it. Okay, so what Microsoft has done is like they have baseline on React, and then they have extended the component of React. So React is developed by Facebook. Microsoft has taken the base code of your React, and thereafter whatever like input that you're seeing in Office 365 modern look and feel, you will find out all these components here in Office UI Fabric React. Okay, so this is something that, as I said, we're even using in SharePoint framework. Okay, so yes, modern site is giving you look and feel, modern look and feel, which is more interactive, more user friendly. There are a lot of advantages in terms of UI component is responsive, automatically responsive. So you need not worry about the responsiveness. Uh, when you go into list and library, obviously it's much more interactive in the sense that you can go ahead and make changes relatively quickly. You can go ahead and create columns. You can do a lot of operations directly from here, right? And please note down that there's one big difference between classic SharePoint site and modern site is Office 365 groups. I'll not get inside Office 365 groups right now because we have to discuss it in detail when we discuss Microsoft Teams. Okay, but I will, I'm highlighting it because it's very important for you to understand that there is a difference between your classic and modern, and this one of the main difference is that a modern site, whenever you create a modern site, it always has a Office 365 group associated with it. And when you have a Office 365 group associated with a site, that is how it works with Teams and other thing. Okay, we'll discuss about it. But yes, this is one big difference. A classic SharePoint site does not have an Office 365 group. This is the reason why, as of now, we cannot use classic sites directly in Microsoft Teams. It is not at all possible to directly associate a classic site with Microsoft Teams. We can give the option to upload documents and things like that, but it cannot be the default option which is directly available to the team. We need to go ahead and separately configure it. But the modern sites, whenever you create a modern site, Microsoft is creating an Office 365 group internally that is associated with the modern site that makes things much easier. If you want to use it with Microsoft Teams or few other services, at that time classic site will not work. Maybe down the line, if Microsoft provides a migration option for the classic sites uh, through some way, if they are giving us the ability to move it to Microsoft Teams, that is something that needs to be looked into. But as of now, it is not possible. So yes, this is one another difference. Okay. So this is your modern site. In modern site, there is a modern list, and in this modern list, you can see that we are getting the option of Power Apps over here, right? So in this case, right now, I can go ahead and even create a Power App from here. We are getting Power Apps and Flow option directly over here in the list. But this is something which you will not get in the classic list by default. So you can, if you want to start developing Power Apps, you can go ahead and directly do it from here. So in this case, right now, this is a SharePoint list. So a SharePoint list, the session is being recorded, Deepak. So if you have missed out anything, we'll give you the recording. Okay. So you can go through the recording, and thereafter, if you have any question, you can surely reach out to me. Okay. Okay. So here in this case, right now, you see that this is a SharePoint list. So in the SharePoint list, you are getting this option of creating an app or customizing the form. Now, in this, so we are getting the option to either create a standalone app. Please understand that I can go ahead and create apps from here also, no problem. It's absolutely fine. Everything is pointing to the same location, no problem. But from here also you can go ahead and you can start creating your app. So here, why it is giving us two options. First option is you're creating an app, and the second one is you're customizing the form. Customizing form is primarily for customizing this form. When you click on this new button, you are getting a list form. This is a browser-based form. So anybody who wants to like customize the browser form, this is not a native option. Please understand, when we create an app, it can be consumed from a mobile device, or it can be used from tablet or any other like devices as a native app, the way you use WhatsApp, Paytm, as I already pointed out. You can use it as a native app. You need not open the browser. But if you are customizing a list form, this is, you are making changes to your browser based form.
Ranjan, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Can we change this browser based form to an app?
Browser based form to an app?
Yeah.
Not directly, you cannot do it, but yes, once you have created an app, you can change the navigation somehow so that when people click on new option, at that time you take them to the app, directly to the app. You can embed that app. Okay.
That's what I try to do. Like I change this to the app, and when I open it in the mobile, it's showing only the first page.
So I mean, you tried like including the app when you're clicking on new button, it should open the app, and that is where you're saying that is showing only the first page, right?
Right. I clicked on customize over here, and when I go to the Power Apps, then I change it to the app, and I try to open it in the Yeah, create an app.
You clicked on create an app, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here in this case, when you click on create an app, so you can go ahead and find, in this case, like I will name it as like product. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, product. And I'll give maybe like today's date, 9/2/19. Okay. Just to make it unique. And I'll create this. Yeah, for rest other people, uh, this is how like we can start with like any of the list. If you have to create an app, you can start from a list, or you can do vice versa also. Okay. If you start directly from a list, then what Power Apps understands is that, okay, you are using product list as a data source. So what it will do is that it will generate few screens for you by default. You see here on the left navigation. Okay, this is your canvas. This is your Power Apps Canvas Studio that you can
Mm-hmm.
use for designing your Power Apps. Okay, so here in this case, you see that it is generating three screen. Okay, so here it understand that you have already told this thing that, okay, you use this particular data source when like I have got title, product key, and product name included over here. So it is using this data source. Okay, and it has created three screens. So if I run this app, so you can run any of the Power App by pressing F5. Once you are in your Power Apps Studio, either you use this
Studio.
icon
Yeah.
over here. Yep. So here in this case, you can hold on. Yep. So in this case, yep. So this is your, either you click on this button that is available over here on the right top, or so I can run this from here. Yep. Yeah, so here in this case, it is showing us a screen. This is the browser screen. We'll discuss about a screen. And along with that, you can go ahead and then navigate through other screens. You have to make changes. You can make and then store it. Okay. But yes, these screens have been generated automatically. The reason is that you started from a list already. If you would, I will go ahead and I will do vice versa. Okay, that means I directly come to web.powerapps.com, and if I click on create an app from from like scratch, then it will not generate like it knows that, okay, there's no direct data source that you have mentioned just now. You're asking me to create an app. Okay, so what it is going to do is that it will, this time, if you look at my screen, you will get to see an app which is like it is asking me that, okay, what is it that you want to do? You want to create a blank app? So is it like you want to use a phone layout or tablet layout, or is it like you want to do it through SharePoint, right? So you want to connect to SharePoint. What is it like you want to do? So you can do the same thing. If you want to use SharePoint, you can go ahead. Then in that case, it will ask you that, okay, what is it like you want to use? Which list you want to use? So I can connect to my training, and then in the training, just now I used product. In place of that, you want to use product or any other list, you can even like start directly from here. So this will also do the same thing. It will generate a same app as to what like I named just now here, product 9219. It will populate this three different screens. These are three default screens that are coming up, which you can do in multiple ways, either from there or here. It means the same thing. Okay. So I have created an app this time. This is the, my voice is muted. 1 minute. Okay, I think I muted you, right?
Sometimes like your voice is like it's getting some disturbance, like it's getting breaking down the voice.
Okay. Okay. Let me.
When you say okay, when you say okay, it seems like okay, it's like dragging the voice.
Okay, it's dragging the voice. Okay. Okay. I'll check the network once. Okay.
Not all the time, but once in a while, like in every 3 minutes, it's doing that.
Okay. Okay.
But it's okay. You can carry on. Like, no need to
Okay.
wait for that. Yeah.
Okay. 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 Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. So here in this case, yep. My apologies for the voice this issue. I'll check it. Okay, if there's any, I think there's an intermittent issue. Sometimes even like there's an issue from go to webinar side. I'll check it if there's a network issue or things like that. Okay, so I'll check it. Here in this case, yep. So I was telling this thing that you have multiple ways to start with an app. So this is a default app that has got created. So in this case right now, we are using this particular SharePoint list as the data source. I can connect to the list and start with the list directly. You can even use a document library, okay? But you should remember that the document library will not get populated by default, okay? So in this case, if you are creating an app, click on Canvas, and then you want to connect to a document library, then in that case, yep. So here,
So, sorry to interrupt you, Ranjan. I have a small question here.
yes,
In document library, we don't have this option like power apps from the list, right?
correct.
Yeah.
We don't have.
I tried to like do it from the document library, but it's saying I can't find that in the power apps option over there.
Okay, so yeah, this is a good question. I'll repeat the question for other people also. What Ved Vyas is telling is that we do not have the option of creating Power Apps. So here on my left navigation, on my SharePoint site, I'm going to Documents, and I don't see Power Apps coming up over here, right? So there's only Flow that is coming up. So uh, in such circumstances, is it like we cannot consume our data, I mean document library? No, that is not the case. It's just that Power Apps does not directly comes up from here, but we can go ahead and we can create an app. Please understand that we cannot customize the form associated with the document library. Pretty much similar to how the restriction was with Infopath. If people have worked on Infopath, we could have never created a list form. We could not have customized it for a document library. So my point here is that when you click on new, if you are planning to like customize this form, that is something which you cannot do directly with Power Apps, not right now. But I can create an app, a proper app that connects to this documents library, and whatever information I have to read, I can go ahead and read it in an app, but I cannot customize the form right now. So how can I go ahead and connect to the document library when I'm working with Power Apps, as I'm not getting this option from here? In this case, I have come to web.powerapps.com, right? And clicked on create an app. And I click on create an app. I'm getting this option of like, yep. So in this case, I have selected SharePoint. There's my SharePoint. I can go ahead and like connect to this. If you want to use a tablet layout, okay, so here in this case, yep, so you see there are different layouts available: phone layout, tablet layout, depending on what exactly like the business users are targeting. So whatever layout that you are going to select, it will be presented on all the devices, okay. So it is not that if I select a tablet layout, then I will Microsoft automatically will convert this layout to a mobile device layout. They will get to see even on the mobile device, they will be seeing the tablet layout itself. So this is the reason why the requirement, the business requirement should be clear in terms of this thing, that which is the primary device that they want to target, so that we can improve or we can like streamline the user experience based on the device that the users are actually going to use. Okay, so here in this case, either you select a SharePoint phone layout and start from here, or you can go ahead and use a phone layout, sorry, or you can use a tablet layout. So if you want to start with a tablet layout, you're not getting it over here, you can go ahead and use it from here. And then once we have
Ramit,
a,
sorry to interrupt you here. I am having one question.
yeah.
As nowadays customers are asking whether they are using laptop or phone or tablet, but they want the perfect UI like we used to do using Bootstrap. So what would be the solution in this case?
Oh, yep. So, good question. In that case, I'll say this thing that as of now in Power Apps, you will have to select a particular, what do you say, like uh, a layout, or like a particular, what do you say, like screen resolution. But what it is going to do is that, yeah. So if in that case, you may have to create multiple layouts. You may have to do that. Okay, because if we create a tablet layout based app, you can open it in mobile device, it will still show you it as a tablet in the tablet view itself. So it would be reactive, that means sorry, it will be responsive, it will fit in into your mobile device screen, but still it, if at all like you want to change the orientation, you want to change the placement of the controls based on responsiveness, that is something which Power Apps is not going to take care of. They will just fit in that particular view in your mobile device. Okay. Okay, so here, thank you. I can, so I have already selected SharePoint phone layout, wherein like I got this. If you want to use connect to a document library, you can either connect to a SharePoint phone layout, and then whichever site from where your document library is existing, you can go ahead and connect to that particular site. Now here, when you scroll down, you will see that the lists are automatically getting populated. So whatever like lists are there in the site, it is getting automatically populated, but the library is not available. So to consume a particular library, so I want to connect to documents library. In this case, in my training site, I have documents library. So what I can do is that I can typically, I will have to explicitly go and write my library name, and then I'll have to connect. Now this will get connected to my document library. Hold on. Anybody trying it out in parallel when I'm doing this? Yep. So here in this case, this has got connected to my document library. Okay. Now you can go ahead and work with it the way you could work with normal list or any other data sources. Okay, so it is not that you cannot connect to the document library. You can absolutely connect, and this is how you'll have to connect. You'll have to go and tell your document library name, and then Power Apps can will get connected to the document library. Okay, so now let's discuss about this Canvas Studio. Okay, so first of all, we'll discuss about Power Apps based customization, and then I'll discuss about the form customization. Okay, so please don't think that we are not going to discuss form customization. I'll do it, but in the next step. Okay, first of all, we'll focus on native app solution, and then we'll discuss about the forms customization. Okay, so here right now it is showing us this three screens by default. I can even do this thing to make things more clear. I can start with a blank application, okay, so that everything is like pretty much like crystal clear to you. So in this case, I'll again go back and open my Power Apps. In Power Apps, I'll select blank. We'll start from blank. Okay, becomes easier to understand things if we are doing it from scratch. Okay, if you use the default template, then again few of the things may not be very clear to you. Okay, yeah, so here in this case I'll select a blank app, and I'll select tablet layout. Okay, so I select tablet layout. Yeah, so this is a blank screen. This blank screen, on the left navigation, please first of all let's get familiar with this Canvas Studio. This is your Canvas Studio. In this Canvas Studio, you have got list of controls. So here on the, okay, so first of all, look at this file option. So here on the top, you have got file, home, insert, view, action. Click on file. You will see several options on this backstage. You will see that what is the name that you want to give to this app. So I can call it as product 2, okay, or simply product app 2, and then this is, I can select a background. You have a specific icon that you want to use for your app. You're free to go ahead and browse. It is telling you that you can use any image in PNG, JPG or JPEG format, 245 into 245 pixel, and upload it. Okay, so you can set this icon. Then you have got a screen size. What is the default screen size that you want to target? So here, to scroll down, it is showing you several options. It is showing you orientation. You want landscape or portrait. Then what is the size that you are targeting? Is it like you are targeting an iPad? You're targeting a specific device. You can even mention custom pixels. Okay, and then this is your aspect ratio. You want to lock it, lock orientation. These things you can do it from here. Okay, then advanced settings. There are few experimental features that you want to use it. Now this is something which Microsoft does not recommend for production purpose, but yes, still if you want to go ahead and use these features that Microsoft is still it is in beta version, you can always go ahead and switch on or off these experimental features, whatever is included. Okay, so you can change this, and then this is right now, please note down that it is showing us that data role limit for non-delegable queries is set to 500. I'll discuss about type of data sources. Okay, in this case right now it is you understand that the data sources are classified basically in two categories in Power Apps. Okay, So here, just a moment. Yep. So data sources, whatever like data source that you have got, it can be classified in two different categories. Just a moment. Yep. So it can be either delegable, right, or non-delegable. So what is delegable and non-delegable? This is what it is. I'll show you the list of what exactly is delegable and non-delegable. When you say that a data source is delegable, that means this query, if you are, let's say that you want to get all the products that were sold in a particular region, okay, so within like USA, we have to write a filter query that within USA I want to get all the products that were sold in California. Now California is one of the column. The way we write select query, the SQL query, or we have been writing camel query, very similar to that. We may have to like write filter formulas. We want to basically just filter out the data. Whatever I want to show on the screen, I want to show, give a drop down so that people can select which country and then which particular state. So they select USA and California. All this data is stored in a particular list. So I need to go ahead and filter that data, query the data in the list and get that information and show it inside a Power App. So how Power App is going to do this? The data source is, the data is written in SharePoint. It is there in SharePoint right now. And you are doing it through a Power App. You are creating a Power App called as Product App 2, and this Product App will go and get connected to your data. It is there on SharePoint. So now, is it like the how we are going to do the filtering? Is it like you are smart enough? If I'm telling that, okay, get me all the records wherein like the country is USA and state is California, is it like going to run on the server side or is it going to run on my device? If it runs on my tablet, so imagine if this is delegable, if this data source is delegable, that means this query will go and get executed directly on SharePoint, so that the tablet device need not take the pain of bringing all of these data from SharePoint. So if there is like 10,000 records in SharePoint, then there's no need for Power Apps to go and bring all these 10,000 records and then do a filtering and give the result on the in the app. If it is delegable, then delegation of the query will directly go and get executed on the original data source, and whatever filtering criteria or the query that you are writing, it will bring the result based on what you have written in the query or the condition. On the other side, if it is non-delegable, there are other data sources. I can provide you a list of what all like data sources are delegable and non-delegable. As of now, this is a small like a glimpse of what all data sources are delegable and non-delegable. So you see here Dynamics 365 for operations is non-delegable. Google Sheet is non-delegable. Likewise, there are other data sources. There's a documentation. I can pass on the link to you. Okay. So in that case, whenever you are writing a filtering condition, what it's going to do is that it's going to bring that data, because your data is non-delegated. It cannot directly like go and get executed against the original data source. So what it will do is that it will bring the data, and then on the local instance is going to like run that query, and based on that it is going to display the data to you. So if I have got a non-delegable data source in Power Apps, it's a non-delegable delegated data source. There are few databases also that are non-delegated. So it's going to go connect over here, bring the records. So it cannot bring all the records. If you have got like million of records or you have got 100,000 of records, now obviously it's not possible. for us to go ahead and bring all those records over here. This is the reason why this option clearly says that data row limit for non-delegable queries. If your Power App is trying to connect to a non-delegated data source, in that case, we are going to bring 500 rows from the data source. So you should be informed that your result may be incorrect or it can be inconsistent. So if you are telling someone that no, this you are bringing data for California, USA, for all the products that were like sold in this particular state, and if it is not your delegable data source, it's a non-delegable data source, in that case the result may be inconsistent, and that is something which Power Apps is going to warn us. When we will try to connect to this data source, it will even give us warning that no, this result may be inconsistent. Okay, but yes, still, if you feel that no, we would like to go ahead and increase this limit, you can go ahead and change it from here, from your advanced setting, but this is something which is not recommended by Microsoft. It will have performance implications on your Power Apps. Okay, then again on the left side you can look for other options. You have got your app settings, then we can look at variables. Within like Power Apps, we can have variables defined. So whichever like variable that you define, you can even view the variables directly from here. Likewise, we can view collections. We'll discuss about collections and variables. I'm just showing you right now that if at all you have any collection created in your Power Apps or variables are created, in that case, you can like go ahead and you can uh, view it directly from the backstage view. Okay, so now coming to this screen, this default screen, this is your first screen. You can use any kind of control on this screen. So if I rename this, I can call this as browser screen. Okay, and in this browser screen I can add, insert any controls, whatever like controls that are available over here. You can go ahead and add this. I'll add it. Do you want to take a break? Can we take a break of 10 minutes if you want?
Yeah, if it is required, then yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we'll take 10 minutes of break and thereafter start at like 6:45 or 6:50 we'll start. Okay.
Okay, no issues. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, so we'll get started. Okay, you're there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So we are like taking this example of a blank app. As I said, I could have started with the default template, but I want to like show you from the very scratch that how actually the components get included. Okay, so that things will be much clear to you. So here I have taken a blank app and I have renamed it. So you can look on the left screen is that you can include different type of screens. Okay, so on the left navigation you see here that you have got like different type of screen categories, 9 different type of screens that Microsoft is providing right now, and they keep like they constantly keep adding new templates. Uh, just now after like Ignite last year, Microsoft launched this calendar and other template which was not there previously. Okay, you want me to make you the presenter? You want to show something with yours? Okay, by mistake you have written. Okay, no worries. Yep, so I can go ahead and add as many screen as I want, right? So I can come up over here and I can go on increasing and creating as many screens. So here you see that we are getting like this browser screen, and then I can add new screens. So I have got like screen 2, screen 3, and so on. So I can go ahead and like this is browser screen. I can rename it to details screen, and then okay, detail screen, and then third one I can rename it to edit screen. Okay, and so on. So now any of this screen you can take and look at the control on the top. We have got like these default buttons or like controls, primary controls that you can add over here. We have got different kind of controls that you can include, and after that you have got gallery. Now gallery is basically like the way you see messages on WhatsApp, right? It's a kind of like gallery that you're seeing. So you want to like show a list of records. That is when like gallery becomes important. So when people click on like browser screen the first time they are launching your app, at that time I can like go ahead and give a default screen. From there I can provide more navigations to the people that okay, what is it that you want to do? You want to add a new product category, you want to view the product that has been sold, or whatever like kind of combination that you have to provide. Okay, so I can call this particular app. Yep, so here I'll call it as Contoso products. Okay, Contoso products, and control S. Sorry, I can save it. The way you save your Excel document or Office document, very similar to that. You can press control S, and first time, yep, so it is asking that you want to give this name. So I have given Contoso products, and then it will take a while. It has now saved it. You can go back, and it's always like good to keep pressing control S. Now going forward, whatever changes you make, the way you save your Word document, very similar to that, you keep pressing control plus S and it will save. If you don't save it, then it auto saves. So sometimes there is like chance of losing your changes. Okay, that is why I recommend that you better go ahead and make a habit of using control S. Okay, now look at other controls. Yeah, so this is gallery control, very important control. In when you're working with Power Apps, you need to have very good knowledge of gallery control, how the gallery control works. Okay, I'll show you 2-3 examples on gallery control to make things clear. You will have to practice it by the time like we are doing this training. I will in I'll strongly like encourage each one of you to do as many exercises. I'll share the exercises with you that you need to complete. Okay, so here I can add a gallery. Okay, very simple term. I can include a gallery. So the moment you add a gallery to your Power Apps, what you're saying is that this is the default gallery. So first thing I can do is like I can go ahead and even include a simple icon. So I can add a simple icon like rectangle. Okay, so here in this case I can include a rectangle, and then in this rectangular control I can place it over here. Now each of the icon, or sorry, each of the control that you add on the Power Apps, you can change the property of this control. So this is my control. Uh, you can go ahead and select the property on the left navigation on the top. You can see this. that depending on the control that you are selecting, you will be able to modify the property of this control. So right now I have selected this rectangular icon. Likewise, I can select this gallery. You should always work with the control from the left navigation. Okay, it's always better to go ahead and select the control from the left navigation. It makes easier for you to select the control. Okay, so this is my gallery control. I can rename this and I can call this as product gallery. Okay, and proper naming convention we should follow. And here after this I will insert a simple text box. So this is not text box, a label. I can include a simple label, place it in the entire length of this icon, this rectangular box, and then I can do alignment directly from here on the on the home section. You can go ahead and do a center alignment. So it comes in the center. And then you want to do a vertical alignment, you can even do a vertical alignment. You want to align center, align top, middle, how's it like you want to do, right? So I want to keep it pretty much on the top. And then in place of this text, real quick, I can go ahead and this is a label control. So label control will have a property of text. So here I can select text. Okay, and then I'll call it as list of products. Okay, and change the size. You want to change the color, then go ahead and real quick you can go ahead and change the color of this one. So I'll make color as white. Okay, and then increase the size of this one. You want to change the size, go ahead and change the size. I can make it as 20, right? List of products. Okay, then I run this. It shows me list of products, and this is my gallery control. Now gallery control, I want to bring in these products, right? So I have got this product list, and in this product list I have got this product key, product name. Okay, so in this case I can go ahead and first thing that you need to do whenever you are working with Power Apps is that you will have to define a data source to which data source you want to connect. Okay, because right now we are using a blank app. Okay, so this is the reason why the data source is not created by default. If I would have started from a list at that time, SharePoint or Power Apps would have gone ahead and created a data source for a ready-made data source. Okay, so how can I check that what all data sources we have available over here? So in this case right now, this you click on view, so you can see here that there's a data source. So I click on data source. It is showing us that there's no data source available over here. So what I need to do is that before I can go ahead and connect to my product list, I'll have to add this data source. So I'll add a data source, and this is saying that which is there any connection, pre-existing connection that you want to use, or is it you want to create new connection? If you're using again a fresh environment, in that case you will have to create a new connection. So either you create it from here, or you can even create it by clicking on file and then click on connections. From here also you can go ahead and define the connections. Okay, it's the same thing. So in this case right now I will go ahead and click on new connection. So you will see these are the list of data sources. So let me show it to you in the new screen. Sorry, this is screen, so that is more clear. Now you can see here these are the list of connections that you can create. So it is showing us that okay, SharePoint is there. You want to connect to SharePoint, select this. So it is asking us that what is it you want to do? You want to connect to a cloud service, That means you want to use you want to connect to Office 365, or is it like you want to connect to an on-premise data source? And it is telling us that you can connect to SharePoint Online or to an on-premises SharePoint 2013 or 2016 farm using the on-premise data gateway to manage document and list item. So if the customer has a requirement that they need to connect to 2013 or 2016 farm, or now even like 2019 is included, they can go ahead, we can easily like go ahead and create a Power App which can connect to even an on-premise data source. So the only thing is that when you are willing to connect to a on-premises data source, you will have to have a on-premise data gateway installed on the machine wherein like the SharePoint is there. You need to have this gateway installed. We'll discuss about gateway in detail. We have a module wherein like I'll demonstrate to you that how you can connect to an on-premises data gateway, and what are the things that you need to take care of when you're working with a on-premise data gateway. Okay, but yes, at right now you should note down that you will be able to connect to an Office 365 SharePoint Online, and along with that you can even connect to a on-premise data gateway. Likewise, if you look into this list of data sources, you have got SQL Server, similar to how SharePoint is saying. It is telling that you want to connect to a cloud-based SQL server. I pointed out Azure SQL, that there are customers who have moved or migrated their database to Azure SQL. So if at all that is the case, then you can directly connect to Azure SQL with the help of your this on-premises this data gateway. Oh, sorry, you can connect to this cloud, or you can connect to a on-prem data gateway. Okay, and likewise, you scroll down, there's the list of different data sources that you can connect to. So it's huge. It's almost like 200 plus data sources that are available over here that we can go ahead and connect to. Okay, so as of now here, we are planning to use SharePoint. So I'll click on SharePoint, and I'll say this connect to this cloud service, because I want to connect to Office 365 SharePoint site. It would take a while, right? And then it is asking us that which is the site you want to connect to. So if it is not coming on the recent site list, then you can go ahead and explicitly connect to this site. Same thing, it is populating list of all your what do you say, like the entire like list, whatever is available over here. On top of it, you can even like go ahead and mention your document library if required. So I'll connect to product sales, not product. I'll connect to product sales. Now here you can see that you can select multiple list. So it is not just about a single your list. If you want, you can go ahead and include multiple lists in a single go. So all these data sources, I can create I am adding all these data sources right now onto the Power Apps, so that I can, like in a single screen, I may be interested. Okay, so if you look at the relation over here, we have got a product list. Product list, what it does is that it mentions a specific category of products. So it has got like product key and then product name. And then we have got product sales. Product sales keeps a track of all the products sale that has been made. Okay, so obviously like there will be a product that would have been sold, so there's a relation over here. For every sales order number, there's a specific sales order number. What is the unit price, then extended price, and which is the product that has been sold. product key, and which is the territory in which it was sold, right? So we have another list called as one moment. Yeah, so here is sales territory. Sales territory keeps a track of what all territories are there where the product needs to be sold. So depending on which is the sales territory in which it has been sold is updated over here. So product sales include all this information, which is the product, what is the price, what is the sales order number, extended amount, and sales territory key where it has been sold. And for each of the product that we are mentioning over here, there's a target that has been defined. Okay, so we'll talk about target later on, but yes, these are the three different lists that in which one is for maintaining your sales territory, second one is for maintaining product category, and the third one is for maintaining the sales information. So I want to like go ahead and connect to each of these lists. So I can skip sales target as of now, but yes, I want to get the product sales and sales territory. As I already mentioned this thing, the document library name you will have to explicitly mention here in the custom table name, then only you'll be able to see the document library. Okay, I'll connect to this. Okay, so this has added these data sources over here. Now, once the data source is added, what I need to do is that this is my gallery. Now, this gallery, I want to populate the product sales information. So I like in place of list of sales, I will make it as like product sales. Yep. So I'll select this text, and you please check this thing that whatever you customize, okay, on the left navigation. Sometime people ask this thing that how can I make out that which property has been modified? If you look here, whatever properties I changed, it has turned into bold. I modified text, it is coming in bold. Size is coming in bold. Likewise, like whatever like you're going to modify is going to come in bold. Okay, so this list of product I'll just change and make it as like product sales. Okay, not product sales. Fine. Now coming to the gallery, this is my product gallery. I'll select this product gallery, and the moment you select a gallery or any such control that is going to populate the data, should look at this right side property window. In this, it is asking us that you will have to select a data source, which is the data source that you want to bring in and like include it in this gallery. So I'll select a data source. It is saying that, okay, these are the three data sources that are listed right now in your app, which is the one which you want to use. So I want to connect to product sales. Now, the moment I connect to product sales, this is your default template, okay, that it is using for gallery. So what I need to do is that I'll have to edit the layout. So here in this case, I'll have to go ahead and change the layout. I'll select layout. It is asking me that what is it like you want to show. You want to show title and subtitle. You want to show title, subtitle, and body. If you have got image, then you can even like include image. What is it that you want to show? So as of now, I'll keep it as like title and subtitle. So in this case,
one quick question, Ranjan.
yes.
Don't feel bad if I'm asking this question. We'll change the layout here, right?
Yes.
Simultaneously, you have the document library as well, product sales, right?
Product sales is a list. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, list. So the layout gets changed over there as well.
Okay, in the list you are saying?
Yeah.
No, there's no change in the list. It's just that we have connected to this particular data source, product sales, and thereafter we are changing the layout of this particular control. When I select title and subtitle, this is
Okay.
basically this control on the Power Apps, that I'm changing the look and this is title and this is subtitle.
Subtitle.
That is
Okay.
what I'm. So it
So
is not
nothing to
going.
do with the list over there.
No, it will never go and modify the original data source.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry if
So
my question was stupid.
no. The questions are never stupid. Okay, that's absolutely fine, and
Okay.
it's good.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
thank you. So here in this case, yep. So you see that depending on what is it like you want to show on the screen. Okay. So here in this case, what I want to do is that I would like to show maybe like sales month, and I would like to show sales order number along with like what is the extended amount for which like it has been sold. Okay, so in this case right now, this is coming not in like that much like readable format. Also it's like it's showing this in a different way. Okay, so this is your gallery control. Select your gallery control, whatever like you have to change. So in this layout, this is title and subtitle. Then I can select fields. Okay, so it's I can go ahead and select which is the field that you want to show in this gallery control. So I'll click on edit, and then rather than showing product key, I am interested in yeah, so title is showing title. I would change it to sales order number. This looks better because I want to show like sales order number. And then in the next step, I would like to show the extended amount. Okay, so I'll change this, and I'll select in place of subtitle, I'll select extended amount. So this is my extended amount. Okay, so this starts showing up over here. I can run this and then scroll down. Okay, as of now, when I click, nothing is going to happen because we have not written any action on this particular gallery. Okay, so here in this case, whenever you have to work with the gallery, you will have to select this gallery, and then this is your pencil symbol is there. So when you click on this, this will select the first item in the template. You can make changes to this and it will reflect this changes will get reflected for all of the I mean items, whatever is like getting listed over here. Okay, so please see that gallery control can include multiple items, multiple records. So this is the reason why the property is saying items. There will not be item in gallery. Okay, so it's items, always items. So in this case, it is showing us list of this item. It is coming from product sales. Okay, now what I want to do is that in this one, I would like to make I would like to make it more readable. Okay, so what I can do is that this is I'll select this. As I said, that whatever changes we have to make, you select this pencil symbol, and then you can select this first record. So when you select this first title, it is showing that the text is right now. Okay, so there's a question from Deepak. Where is the data from the other list? We have not included it right now, Deepak. We have just binded this data source to the gallery control.
So we have binded two data sources, two lists into this bind, right?
No, sir. We have just included 3 data sources right now that we are going to consume. Right, but in this gallery control, first of all, I'm just pulling the data related to the product sales. Okay. Thereafter, I'll consume
Oh,
even these data sources. Okay.
okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this gallery control, product gallery, I'm selecting this, and this is your title. This is right now showing this item dot sales order number. So please understand that it's a list of items. Okay. So you are getting to see. If I draw over here, so this is your gallery control. In the gallery control, you are getting list of items, right? So you have got like item 1, then item 2, and item 3, and so on. So for each of these field, what is going to say is this item dot then you will get all the properties, because it is getting all this data from a data source, your SharePoint list data is already there, right? So product sales is there. So what it is doing is that just connecting to product sales, this gallery is connecting to this product sales, and whatever records are there. So if it is like item 1 is there, then you have got item 2 and so on. You have got item 3. So same thing is getting populated over here. But yes, so the moment you write this item dot, what is going to do is that it's going to give you all the properties which are there in your list. So this is the reason why if I have to change this, I can go ahead and when I select this item dot, is going to populate all the this columns. So extended amount, ID, and product key, sales month, all of these, whatever like fields are there, this is something that you can go ahead and read in your Power App. So this item dot sales order number is something that you have seen. Now I want to like add something over here. Okay, so I will append. Now please understand, in Power Apps it's very important to get adjusted to formulas. There are a lot of formulas. The way it works in Excel, if you know formulas, you know Excel. Very similar to that in Power Apps also, it's exactly the same scenario. The more you work with formulas, the easier it would get for you to understand how things actually work, or how you can make things work. Okay, so in this case, when I select this, I can go ahead and now this is my text. I want to append something. Okay, so what I'll do is that I will simply write a string and call it as like order number. Okay, so I'll call it as order number and then concatenate it by using an ampersand. Okay, so whichever way you want to organize it, you can call it as like sales order number. Okay, I'm keeping it little descriptive right now. Okay, so what it does is that it includes sales order number for all of these. Okay, and then what I want to do is that's okay, I'll keep it as just order number. It is making it little longer, so I'll make it as order number. Okay, and save this. Now after this is my second this field, which is actually a subtitle. And if I look into the list,
Sorry, Ranjan. Are we adding the label content for that, which we did, or the order number? Are we adding some labels for that, or
for this one you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I just appended this text over here. Okay, I said order number and then this item dot sales order number. So what it does is that it updates the text of each of the title over here. Okay.
Okay.
So this makes it as order number more readable. Okay, and then comes your this second field, extended amount. Now extended amount is something that is stored as a plain number. Okay, but if we are showing it on the screen, it would be better if we include some sort of like currency notation, and along with that like this even like 2 decimal point we would like to include. Okay, so what we can do is that we can select this, and now I'll open a formula reference. Okay, so we have got Power Apps formula reference. I can directly go and write it, but I'll pass you the reference. Okay, so here in this case, this is your formula reference. I'll paste it in the chat window. You can bookmark this link. Okay, so this yeah. So what it is saying is that there's like a long list of functions. Okay, sorry guys, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Deepak, I think there's an issue at your end. Can you please check once, Deepak?
to hear you, but some 5 minutes back it lost.
Okay, I'm not sure. Like, I think
Okay.
other people are able to hear me properly.
Yeah, now it's even better. Earlier I had some
Okay.
issues, but no problem.
No, it was actually raining also. Okay, so at that time, I think maybe there was some intermittent issue was going on. Okay.
You're in Bangalore?
Yeah, I'm in Bangalore. Yes.
Oh, it's raining. It's raining over there.
Yes. I
Okay.
mean, you know Bangalore rain, right? It
Yeah.
rains in like a particular main, particular cross, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here in this case, what we want to do is that we want to do a proper formatting. Okay, this time right now, what I did is that I just wrote order number and somehow I did the formatting. But what if like I have to show this in proper currency format with a specific like decimal points or a particular structure, maybe like 3-digit, 3-digit, 3-digit combination we want to do. So for that, you have got like functions for every single activity. Whatever you have to do in Power Apps, you will have to look into the reference of formulas, and we have to discuss a lot of formulas in even like upcoming session. So what I'll do is that first of all I will pick a function or formula which is called as text formula, and what it says is that this text formula converts any value and format of a number or date time value to a string of context. So this is basically one formula that helps you to do formatting. Okay, so I'll select this text, and what it says is that depending on what kind of formatting you want to actually use. Okay, so here in this case you want to use a particular, yeah, so here you see that this is a text. How you want to like do it? Is it like you want to show it in a dollar format? If you want to show like this dollar 12,000 or like this 12 I think it's 1.2 million, you can show it like this. So what I can do over here is that in my Power Apps I'll write this one, but I will make use of formula this time. Okay, so I will delete all of these and I'll write text. So this is text formula, text function. Okay, and then what I have to do is that it is telling us that you can pass on the value first of all, and then what is the format in which you want to show it. So I want to show this item, so it goes inside this dot extended amount. Fine. Now comma. Now you see here it is giving you an explanation of this next argument or next parameter, that format underscore text. What is the format that you want to use? So I can use a format like this. This should be fine. Okay, so I can write something like in double quotes dollar, and after that I can write something like this dot. If you are expecting these many figures, I mean you're expecting a 9-digit number to be included over here, you can mention this and then close it. Okay, so in this case right now, okay, so this is right now, okay, this is already formatting it, so I can first of all right now keep it like this, then I can go ahead and even like make the decimal position adjustment I can do. Okay, if you are finding it difficult to write the formulas, you can always go ahead and extend this and go on writing. Okay, these formulas or functions will grow longer as like slowly. So in this case this is what is coming up over here. It is showing a dollar, and then now it is showing us the value. Okay, now I also would like to show some more information over here, like it would be good if we can show a hi message to the current user. Yes, the user who is using this app, if you can show a hello message to that user the moment he comes onto this screen, that would be like on the left top I can say hi, and then the name of the current user, and how good it would be if on the right side we can show his picture, right? That would make it more what do you say, like interactive. So what I can do is that in this case I will include a new label. Okay, so I include another label and place it here. I'll move it a little further on this side, and then in the text what I'm going to do is that yep, so you can always like go ahead and change the font and all those things. Okay, so I can go ahead and we can change the size to specific value, and then color, same what we are using for product sales. I can make it as like white. Okay, and then in this text, yep, so I'll have to select correct property. You should always pay attention to this thing that you are selecting correct property. So this is my control. I want to change the text. So this is my text, and I'll change this. I'll remove this. I don't want this text. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write user. User is an inbuilt object. Okay, you need not go ahead and define it. This is already inbuilt. So I can write user and dot. What is it that you want to read? The current user. This is your current user. So you want to read his full name, email, image. What is it you want to read? I want to get his full name. So I'll select user dot full name. So what it does is that it goes ahead and brings your name, depending on whatever name it is going and bringing the data from the Active Directory. Not exactly Active Directory, it is Azure Active Directory, because Office 365 uses Azure as the backend, and the identity management system is Azure Active Directory. So that is what it is using over here. Okay, so I can go ahead and just like change this a little bit further. So I can place it in double quotes high, and then make a space and append this. Okay, so this becomes high current user. So depending on which is the user who's using this, can go ahead and show this message, right? So there's also like you have an intention to show something. Yep, so you can make it like this. So it becomes like this, hi, the current user. Okay, and then in the next step, if at all like you want even like include his image, then you are free to go ahead and include image control. So here in this case you see there's a image control. I can take this and can make it a little smaller, and depending on how is it like you want to place this, yeah, I can place it in center like here. And this is the image control. So what I want to do is that I want to get current user's image, whatever image is there. Okay, so this is image. So image, this is a sample image. What it is showing right now, I need to change this image property, and this time I'll call the user object and I'll call image. Okay, so if it is connecting, then yep, is going and bringing my image. So within no time we have been able to bring in our picture or the current user's picture, and along with that we have been like able to even like populate the sales order. Okay, now in this itself, what I want to do is that I want that whenever like user selects any of these order, he or she should be able to see the details of the order and should even be able to modify it. Okay, so either you can create a single screen if you want that no everything works, you are working on a tablet and you don't want to like again give another screen, then you're like free to go ahead and even give directly, like we have got enough space available over here in this tablet view. We have got this enough space available over here. I can like go ahead and use this particular space. But you're always free, depending on what kind of like user experience or flow that you want to create. You can always like go ahead and you can go ahead and modify this. Okay, so what I have to do is that I want to give the user ability to modify the orders, whatever like order that has already been like added, created in the list. I want them to be able to modify it. They can view it, and also if required, they can modify it. Okay. So in this case, right now, what I have to do, if at all, like I want to give this option to modify the component. Okay. So here in this case, I will go ahead and I will include, yep. So here in this case, right now, whatever like control orders that you have got, let it be, and I will go ahead and uh, include a form. Now I have used a gallery. Now gallery is used for displaying multiple items. Okay. On the other side, we have got data table. I'll show you data table also. Data table is basically for showing a list of information, uh, plain data. Okay, you don't want users to be able to take any action. So for an example, I want to like show data related to a particular sales territory. So here I have got like different sales region, right? So I have got United States and Southeast, Northwest, Northeast, or whatever is there, Australia. So if at all like you want to do such categorization, you can go ahead and do it. Okay. So here in this case, if at all we want to give a screen where like people can select a particular country, a particular sales region, and they should be able to see all the sales that has been made in that particular region, we can use simple data table. Okay, but here our intention is to give a form wherein like people can go ahead and modify things. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll make use of another screen to just like keep things little like better, so that later on we can include more information in this screen. As of now, we are just showing sales order number and amount. Along with that, we can use even this blank space to do things. Okay, so I have got another screen. Browser screen is my first screen. Then we have got details screen. Okay, so what I want is that whenever people click on any of these order number, right? So they click on this, or maybe in anywhere in this body. Why just this icon? They click on anywhere on this body. It should take them to the details screen where they can view the details. And after that, if at all they are interested in modifying it, then they should go ahead and modify it. Okay. Now, so what I'll do is that this is my details screen. I can maybe like rename it to details screen. Okay. And no, let it be detail, no problem. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, so in this detail screen, I want to show information of a particular product that the user is going to select from the browser screen. Okay, so here this is a details screen. I will insert a form. This time I want to work with a single item. I know that people are going to select a product from the gallery, and then we are going to come to the forms. And what I intend to do is that I just want to like show that information. I don't want to give the edit option over here. If at all they want to edit it, then we'll give another screen to them. Okay, so here I'll include display. So please see here that under forms you have got edit option or display option. So I'm selecting display. So I'll place this on this screen properly. Okay, I have got lesser number of these what do you say, like fields as of now. I have not included like a long list of field. I have kept it little simple. Okay, so in this case, what is it like you want to connect? So I will rename this form, and I'll call it as like product view form. Okay, or call it as like view product. Okay, and keep form so that it helps us understand that this is a form. Okay, so a screen can have multiple forms, a screen can have multiple controls. It is not necessary that we'll have only one control. The way it goes with like typical like ASP.NET screen or any other screen, you can have multiple forms, galleries, whichever way you want to mix it. You can go ahead and mix all of these different controls in your screen. So this is my details screen. In details screen, I have included a form which is called as like view form, and then I need to configure this. So I know that when the user is going to click on browse screen, this data is going to come from the product sales list. So even details screen, it is saying that it's not configured right now. So I'll select this form, and on the right side, this is the data source. I'll select a data source. I'll give product sales itself, okay? Because I know that the data is going to come from product sales itself. Which particular item, that is something that we need to pass on, because this form does not right now know that which is the which is the product that the user is going to select. So this is the reason why it cannot show us any information right now, okay? But so how do I do this? I mean, how can I like go ahead and do this? So what I'm going to do is that uh, in this edit form, okay, sorry, in this view form, so on the right side you can see that this is your form. So this is connected to product sales. What I will have to do is that on the browser screen, we have to do two things, okay? Whenever user clicks on this, any of these record in your list of products, product sales, you should take that user to the next screen. So how do we connect both the screens? You have got two different functions that are formulas that are available to do the navigation. You can use first formula is your navigate, and the second one is your back function. Okay, so there is like there are two formulas, two functions that Power Apps is providing. One is your navigate, that will help you navigate across screens, and the second one is your back. So navigate, with the help of navigate, you can navigate to any of the screen. Back will take to the back screen, whichever screen from where you came to this place. If you click on a button or like click on a control where back function is used, then it will take you back to the same screen. Okay, so here what we're going to do is that in this case I'll select this icon, right? This is my icon, and you will see here that on select is like the way for button we write on click. Okay, so this icon, when there's a function called as on select, what I'm going to do is that I'll change the on select function of this icon, and where the default behavior is written, select parent, and I'll change it to navigate. Okay, I'll write navigate. Navigate is the formula that you can use to navigate to the next screen. So I want to go to the detail screen. So I'll select detail screen. Go to the details screen. With is there any styling that you want to use? Basically, like this is a simple like styling, like how you want this to come up, like as a cover, or like it should fade away, or you don't want any styling, then pass it on and save this. Okay, now whenever you write formulas, you can always provide comment the way you were commenting your code in the developers would have like done this in C# code. So you can write navigates to detail screen, okay, and shows selected product detail. Okay, so I can give a comment like this, and then it is coming, all everything is coming in one line. To do the formatting, you can select this, and now here you see that there's a format text option available, right? So what I can do is that I'll select this, sorry, yeah, here in this case I'll select this and then format. So the moment you select format text, what it's going to do is that it will organize it properly. So when this formula slowly will become longer, at that time it becomes important that we like from readability point of view, it's always better that you have formatted the entire text. Okay, so now if I click on this, it's going to take me to the next screen. But what it will display, because I mean we have not, we are not passing this information that which is the product that you are selecting, which is the product that user has selected. So just clicking on it is taking me to this screen without showing anything. The only thing you have to do is that in your gallery, the user is selecting a particular item, right? So what we have to do is that we will have to tell the form that you this is the item that user has selected. So how we can do this? I'll come to my product form, and in this product form I will select item, because this is the form, it cannot show multiple items, it will always show only one item. So I'll select this form and select item from here. This is my item property, and here I will write, this is my gallery, right? So my gallery name is product gallery. So I'll come to this one and I'll write, in place of item, I'll write product gallery. Okay, so this is my product gallery dot selected, whatever the user is going to select. Yeah, product gallery dot selected, bring it, show it to the user. So fine. So I'll come to browser screen and then click on this. Now here you see it is showing me S043697. We need to include proper navigation so that user can go back. But yes, this is something with the help of which we have been able to click. So I am clicking on 700. It's bringing me 700. Along with that, whatever information is there associated with this particular record, it is coming up over here. Now I can like include real quick a similar kind of behavior, right? So here in this case I can easily like quickly include this, right? And then insert a simple label, and then likewise I can center align this and place this view product, right? So I can make this as view product. Okay, and then change your other component, right? So I can change the color and other things, whatever you have to improve the size, you can change it. Now look at one thing. Every time I am going and explicitly mentioning or like changing the font, right? So I went into browser screen, I changed the font of product sales, then I changed the font of my name, then the same thing I am doing over here also, right? In the details screen. This will become very difficult, like the more screens will come into picture, and it will become very difficult for us to like maintain the font size. To overcome this problem, one good thing that we can do is that, how about defining a variable? We can define a variable, place a value in that variable, so and then set that variable as size of each of these text, so that if we need to change the size from 20 to 22, or we need to reduce it to 18, then I need not go and modify it everywhere. So how we can go ahead and create variables. To create variables, now see, whatever I'm telling you, it's everything is like there in the slide. I'll share the presentation with you. Okay, so this presentation is showing you that how you can define a variable. So defining a variable in your Power Apps, there are two different type of variables that we can create in Power Apps. So first is your global variable, and the second one is your context variable, or you call it as local variable. So it is saying that you can create global variable with the help of set function, and local variables you can create with the help of update context function. And we'll discuss about collections. Okay, we'll discuss about collections tomorrow. Okay, it will require a little bit of more time, so I'll tell you in the context how and when it would be very beneficial to use collections. Okay, so as of now, if you just like look into this, what if like the font size that everywhere I'm going, if I can define a variable called as font size and set the value equal to 20, then rather than going and changing it everywhere, I can simply set the font size to the variable name, right? So that it picks 20 directly from there. So what I'm going to do is that it is telling that you have got a function called as set. With the help of set function, you can go ahead and create a variable. So let's try it out. Okay, so in this case, this documentation is here. I have already like given you the link, so you can check. Set function is there. So what set function will do is that you can read about it. Set function will actually help you to define a variable. So how do we define a variable in that case? It's saying that whatever like variable you want to create here, what you do is that simply write a formula like this. So where should I write? It would be good if you write it on the first screen. So if the user is coming to the first screen, define a variable called as font size, and then that font size can be used across the entire app. Okay, so what I'll do is that this is my browser screen. This is my first screen. So I have selected this screen, and in this screen there's something called as on start, on visible, on hidden, right? Very similar to how we see in the pages, right? When we are like using ASP.NET pages or like likewise. So this is my screen, browser screen. I'll select on visible. It would be good if I put it on visible. So I'll make it an on visible, and here I can write set variable. I'll put a prefix of var so that people can easily make out that this is a variable, and I'll call it as variable font size. Okay, if you want to use like yeah, so in this case this is your var font size, comma, what is the value that you want to set? I want to set the value as 20. Okay, or if you want a variation, then I can do var title font size. Okay, I'm setting title font size equal to 20, and I can create another variable. You can define multiple actions or like multiple formulas inside this by writing a semicolon. I can repeat this, and I can call this as subtitle and change the size to 16. Okay, so I define one global variable. So this is how you define a global variable. So this is your define global variable. Format this text. So this is how you see it. Yep, so I have defined two variables, variable title font size and variable subtitle font size. Now I can go ahead and use it. So this product sales, if you want, I can, yeah, so this is my label. I can, it would be always like good that to have a proper naming convention. Okay, so you can rename this and get this label user name. Okay, fine. So this is your label title. You want to change the font, so select the font of this. Yep, so this is your size, not font. RS size, and the place where I have written 20, I can go ahead and write title font size. Okay, 1 minute. Sometime it is a cache issue due to which this happens. Okay, and likewise for other control, you can go ahead and say set the size to subtitle 1 if you want to like change this. So you can change this. It's not picking, it will pick it. Okay, so how can I see this? You can even like check the variable name, variable size, whatever is like there. I'll have to, we are doing it on the browser, right? So I may have to like close this app and then again reopen it. Okay, sometime it does not fix just like that. So I'll save this. So here, but you can check, as I said, that you can view the variables that you have defined. I click on variables, you see here that your variables, okay, the value is not there. Why? Yeah, that is what I'm saying. It is not getting initialized. That is something that we'll have to see. It is not, it will pick it. Okay, if I close and reopen it, it will come up. I'll have to close this and open it. Okay, but yeah, this is how it will work. I can like, again, I'll close it. It will take time in opening. Okay, I don't want to waste time. So what I have done is like, this is one way through which you can define variable for most of the things, or whatever, like you want to use a common value across the app. You can go ahead and define variable. So yes, in this case, I have defined this variable, and then when I select it, it's going inside this, showing me the product details. Now, if you want that, we want to give an edit option to the users on this particular screen, then I can include a next icon. So here in this case, I can go ahead and I can insert an icon, an edit symbol, right? So here there's an edit symbol. I can go ahead and place it over here. Yep, so this is your edit. You can go ahead and I can change the color of this one, make it as white so that it looks clean. Yep, so this is your white color, so that when the user clicks on this icon, he should get the edit option. He should be able to edit the values. So here, this is my browser screen, details screen. What I'll do is that on the edit screen, I'll add a new form. So same thing what we did over here. So what I can do is that rather than going and again doing the same thing, I'll delete it and I'll copy this. So you can always go ahead and duplicate the screen. So I can duplicate this screen. Okay, so here you see that there's an option to duplicate the screen. So I'll select duplicate screen, right? And once it duplicates, I'll rename this to edit screen. Okay, so I'll make this as edit screen. Fine. Now I need not take the pain of again like changing everything from scratch. I'll change the text, edit product, and yep, here this icon is not required because it's already in the edit product, but details screen should have this. And in this edit screen, this form should be in edit mode. Okay, so here we'll have to yep, so this is your edit form. I'll rename this to edit form. Okay. Why it is not showing us the option? 1 minute. It should give us the option to set the mode to edit, which is not coming. It should come up. Edit fields.
I think it should be in the properties, right?
Yeah, it is there in the properties, but I don't see this is coming up right now. It's vertical, horizontal. Okay. Okay, no worries. What I can do is that I can insert a new form, edit form. Okay. And then I can connect it to product sales. Okay. So this will connect, and then in this case, you can put it over here. And yeah, so in this form, if you don't want any particular field to come up, there's no need for you to go ahead and delete it. So here I have again like re-added this form. Okay, so this is your edit form, and here you will on the left navigation, if you look here in the left navigation, if I expand this, whatever like controls that you see, the fields that are getting added to the edit form, this is your title is coming from the list, then product key. Please understand that when you're using a form, at that time the controls are added as a data card. This is basically a data card. We'll discuss about it tomorrow, how to add rules. We have to add rules, validations, and other things. Okay, so at that time I'll again like show you that how to actually make take advantage of this card control. But yes, whatever you have, you find it unnecessary, there's no need for you to delete it. You can just simply go ahead under fields. So here this is your field, select this edit option, and then whatever you don't require, okay, so you can go ahead and simply like remove it. So remove it from here. So this will automatically like remove it. Then if you want to add certain field, you can always go ahead and select it. Okay, but yes, you can remove it from here. I'll save this. Now my only task is that when user click on view product form, so they would be viewing a certain product, and then what they do is that they click on edit. When they click on edit, at that time we should take them to the edit screen. So on the details screen, on the click of this icon, what I'll have to do is that I'll have to change the on select, right? So this is on select. I'll change this and I'll make it as navigate. And this time I'll take the user to the edit screen, comma, I don't want to show any styling while the user navigates. And so now this will take you to the edit form, but you cannot see any information. Why? Because we have not told that which is the record that you are editing. Okay, it does not know itself that, okay, which is the particular product that you are editing. So I'll select edit screen, and on the edit screen in the edit form, what I can do is that same thing what we wrote there, I'll change the item of this edit form, and I'll write product gallery dot selected. Okay, so we come up over here, I select this 699, I come up over here, this is 699, I click on edit, and then it comes to it shows me the edit form. Now what I want to do is that I want to make some changes to the value. So I want to change the extended amount to 80,000 over here, and then save it back to the list. So what I will have to do is that on the edit screen, I'll add an icon. You can give a submit button also. That is absolutely fine. Okay. If you want to save a space, then rather than going and putting this thing, you can make use of this simple icon, right? And then based on that, you can change the color of this one, right? So there's a color for this one. I'll make it as white. Okay, and then on select, when you select this particular icon, it should go and save the data back to the list. Depending on whatever changes that you are making on this edit form, it should go back and store this information in the list. To store the data in any data source, you have got two functions, two formulas. One, you can use submit form. Okay, submit form is wherein like you can pass the entire form. So what it does is that it will take all of the data from this form, it will go and post it to the SharePoint list or any other data source, whichever data source through which this form is connected. You can go ahead and post it on that data source. Or on the other side, you can even make use of patch function. Patch will help you update selected field. Let's say that we do not want that people should be able to modify sales order number. If they are changing sales order number, then also it should not make a difference to us. We don't want to go and want the user to change it. There are multiple ways to do it. We can disable it here also. We have the option to disable this field. We can do that, or otherwise, if you have to just like ensure this thing that people should be only able to modify extended amount and nothing else, then we can use patch function, and in the patch function we will only update a particular field. So please make a note of this, that submit form function will help you to submit the entire form. So please check the details over here. This is your submit form is one formula, and thereafter you have got another function called as patch. Okay, so submit form will help you post the entire form. You can go ahead and submit the entire form. Or the second option is your patch function, where you can explicitly mention that which is the field that you want to modify. Okay, so here as of now, I'll first of all use submit form, then later on I'll show you how to use patch function. Okay, so in this case, this is my icon. On select of this icon, yep, so here in this case this is on select, I'll simply say submit form and pass your form name. So my form name is edit form. Fine. So now what I'm going to do is that I'll start with the browser screen. I'll select this 700 record. It gives me this view product screen. I'll edit it, and then I'll change this 80,000 to 85,000 and save it. Okay, so I can like save this. Now after saving, we can again like navigate the user back to a thank you screen, or we can show a message over here saying that thank you for submitting your data. Okay, so I can go back and check in my product sales list that whether the data has been updated or not. Okay, so this is my 700. Yeah, you see here this is my 700 record, and I have changed the extended amount to 85,000 from 80,000. So this has changed the information whatever we have changed from here. Okay, then we'll have to streamline the navigation. Okay, how it is actually working. Fine, so I think the time is running out, so we'll stop the session here today. Okay, you will get feedback link, so whatever feedback you have related to this session. Okay, so there's a question, one, just hold on. Yeah, if I have a screen for admins of the app only to see, can we restrict a particular screen? So you want to restrict the screen based on a specific role, that is what you're saying, right? So see, there are multiple ways to do it. Restricting a screen, the button or the navigation from where you want the admins to view this, we can put a target audience, we can put an audience targeting on that. If you want, I can show you that how you can do an audience targeting on any button, so that the only admins will see the option of from wherever you're like giving the user the option to navigate to the admin screen. You can control directly audience targeting on that button, so that the normal users will not see it, so they cannot navigate to that particular screen. Okay. You're getting my point. Yeah, so we can do an audience targeting on a specific navigation button, and that is how we can restrict the users from going to, I mean, whatever, like we can control the authorization part. You can do it with the help of Office 365 groups, or if you are okay to maintain that information in a SharePoint list, we can do through that also. I'll show you one example. Okay. Any other question, guys?
The link for this, right?
Yeah. We'll upload this and we'll send the link to you. We'll also share the documents and we'll send you the feedback link. Please share your feedback for the first session. Okay. So we'll try to improve the overall delivery. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much for your time. Okay. I'm not
Thank
going
you
to
very much.
spoil your evening further. Okay.